Hello, Caner Nation, and welcome, Caners worldwide. All those that are new to the channel, before you forget, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. And this is a great time because we just started our 6-week challenge. This is number 101, so we're very excited to be working with our Caners, but we have those also who graduated from there, and next week they start Cane Tribe, and new individuals coming and discovering the power and potential of the cane, coming to the channel and the culture, so welcome. I'd like to cover today a topic that would benefit everyone and it would have some carryover, keeping in mind that we just started that. We just had our week 1, class 1 for the members of the 6-week challenge, but I think it'll broaden the view of one of the most important topics as soon as you come to American Cane Self-Defense, and that is our Power Shot template. Self-defense remains the most basic benefit that you should have with any type of cane training. American Cane Self-Defense, if you followed us for any length of time, you know that we operate on a 5 Power Shot template. So what I'd like to do is take that concept, take a couple of the shots, and show you how it would work from a standard grip, which is how you learn it first. Again, a standard grip simply means that the horn is pointing, you're operating in essence from the horn pointing towards you versus a reverse grip where it's pointing away. And so when you slide down and pick it up, we tilt this camera here just a little bit, just tilt for me, and you slide down, you pick it up. That's it, you're drawn. That's why we say it's the quickest draw. That's called choking up. The most overlooked component of cane self-defense training is doing that. It requires practice and training to be able to do it in a timely fashion and keep people at bay. But let's take your first power shot, which is a diagonal shot. It comes this way, and it doesn't matter. Power shots can be done high or low, moving forward or back. But if I were to demonstrate this on the body opponent back off, it might look that way, where I'm going right across the clavicle. So there's 2 ways that I like to present that. That is coming from the standard grip. And we had a question in that first class, well, do we practice it also from reverse? And the answer to that immediately is get it first from your standard, which is more likely however it is that you're going to be hanging around with the cane. But if you're in that standard grip, then we want to choke up, and it doesn't change. It's still, if you're looking at it from this perspective, one of the questions is a trick question. What are you striking with? And people say everything. We get all kinds of answers, everything. You know, where's your power coming from? Say, well, I'm striking with the cane. Yeah, but where's your power coming from? Well, it's coming from the hips, and everybody says that. And that's, in essence, that's partly correct. But power shots are done full body. It's full body, everything from the floor with the legs, and you're turning into that. So if you stop it right here and I change my grip, you see that that's a number 1, and it's the same angle, and it's still, that's what you're doing coming crossways. Why would you use something like that? Well, gosh, in application, I picked it up, and that might be the closest thing to me, and I didn't have time to pick it up this way. I don't have that luxury. Or maybe it's a secondary shot. So she came here, I stepped out of the way with a low 3 and came. I had to come over on that clavicle, the back of the head, or whatever it was to incapacitate so that I can get to a safe place. So you have it in a standard, you have it in a reverse, and then what I'd also like to show you and share with you, especially those of you that are new or you've been here for a while, but you're unaware that from day 1, when you look at our classical collection, those of you that have access to Cane Self-Defense University, you see that American Cane Self-Defense has always shared and taught the empty hand translation. So when it comes to empty hand, we are essentially a palm heel strike with the bony portion on the pinky side of the hand, palm heel strike, and a hammer fist template is what we use, more so than punching. We do teach vertical strikes and punching, but keep in mind that the majority of individuals that are coming in, both men and women, do not have conditioned hands. And so now you're striking with a fist, you're hitting a bowling ball. And if this is not conditioned, that's going to get damaged, right? So if you open that hand and this is what you're looking at, it's still an educated, could you do a number 1 just right next to me? Pick up the cane and do a number 1. And let me show you what it might look like. And we're just going to step forward, just stand next to me, and we're facing this way, and just lift and drop into 1 as you step in. Right, and she has her cover hand and she comes across. Empty hand, it looks like this. Right, that's what you're mirroring, and you're going right across. So if I were to show this on the body opponent bag, hey, I don't want any trouble, this is what you're seeing, and then it's a lift drop. Right, and so back off! It's coming here on the side right here where you have that trigeminal nerve. And so an application of that might look like this, to where as she's coming to put her hands pushed, I partition here, and notice that she has to take that extra step, boom, and I come right across. Because you're striking with the palm, you also have the fingers that very conveniently can also rake the eyes, which is closest to the brain. So all this coming just from a number 1, right, or a number 1 and a reverse grip is also a number 1 empty hand. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you have a tool, you can use that as well. All right, so it even with it works for a knife as well. The template works there as well, so it carries over. There is value in it. Let's take another one. So standard grip again. You pick up. Hey, I don't want any trouble anywhere that you're going. Right. So this would be a limb. Bob doesn't have any arms, but I'm taking out the elbow. I'm taking out ribs. I had to strike through and go right through it. That's a number 3 off of a standard. Reverse grip now. Right, so hey, I don't want any trouble. Well, here it is, keeping in mind again that it's a full body. You can just tilt and look at my feet. It is a full body exercise. I don't want any trouble. You've seen me do this before. Quickly, right, and you practice this. Hey, with the verbals, listen, back off before he moves in. Right, and again, it's along the same lines of me moving maybe a secondary shot rather than coming down at an angle. If I keep that straight, then that changes it a little bit. And empty hand, now it's that palm. It might also be a hammer fist to the same area, right? But now it works here. And so if she were throwing a strike that I intercept here and I come and I strike at the same time, and then I'm able to rake as well. But that's how you start using it. And then if we take, I'll do one last one. We take, let's say, power shot number 5, and off of a standard grip, you're transversing, you're coming across to the other clavicle. So when you came here, that's back off. That's your 5. That's your 5. Here's where it changes. If you're doing this off of a reverse grip, rather than keeping it here, and you can test this yourself, changing and going into that position, a lot of times you'll find that if your grip is not really good, it's kind of odd. So watch the 3-inch difference here of just sliding 2. That's the beauty of that horn and crook, is that now when I slide down, boy, that's different. And it puts into perspective a lot of people, right, a lot of caners coming for the first time, they don't understand what this is all about, right, and what the spinning is all about and how it translates into self-defense. I've covered it in other segments before. I'm just going to tell you that spinning is about self-defense. It's all about self-defense, a good portion of it. It has a bunch of other benefits, but it's certainly built in there. And so that's what that might look like. And the application, obviously, hey, you had to reach for it. It's here. I deflected, and now I have to come down, or just to keep people at bay. Either way. But again, instead of going here, slide down just a little bit more and use the leverage of that crook and horn. And a 5 empty hand. Well, we like to use that hammer fist. And that hammer fist coming down at an angle. Notice the cover. So something like where she comes a roundhouse punch, and I'm in here. Here's my number 5 coming down, and if I use this hand and hammer, then this is my number 1 with my left hand, and so on and so forth. But I wanted to share this with you today so that you see the broader picture and where we're going. If you just started the 6-week challenge, again, welcome. And this was something that will complement that first session. And for everybody else, if you weren't aware that American Cane Self-Defense, again, has always been from day one. Look at the very early material. It's sitting right on your Cane Self-Defense University portal. Take a look at that, and you'll see that we've always been about that empty hand translation. For everyone else, if this is the first time that you're here, one of the most important things, as a matter of fact, this is what I would do next after watching this, is to reach out to us and send a simple text. 3 letters, CCC, stands for Cane Clarity Call. The team will reach out to you and schedule you within 24 hours. We'll have a conversation about where you are right now, what interests you about the cane, where it is that we're going. And we're going to lay out, you're going to have pen and paper, because we're going to lay out the blueprint and the plan for you so that every time that you pick up this tool, you know exactly what you should be doing to move the progress needle forward. Because if you don't see progress, you don't have feedback on results, well, that's still the breakfast of champions. And if you don't have that, then you're going to be going around in circles. We don't want you to be a YouTube caner. We want you to take a look at this as a catalog, see if this makes sense to you. Look out there, and if it does, then let's get on a plan. Let's have a strategy moving forward, as opposed to mindless training and trying to patch things up. Let's do it right from the onset. It's going to save you time and money, and it's going to make this cane journey so much more enjoyable. I'm Joe Robina for American Cane Self-Defense. Thanks for watching. Keep caning and stay safe.